Welcome back, warrior. We do not have any time to waste today, so we are getting started on Joshua chapter 5. The inhabitants of Canaan fear Israel. The males of Israel are circumcised. Israel keeps the Passover, eats the fruit of the land, and manna ceases. The captain of the Lord's hosts appears to Joshua. Okay, and it came to pass when all the kings of the Amorites, which were on the side of Jordan, westward, and all the kings of the Canaanites were by the sea, heard that the Lord had dried up the waters of Jordan from before the children of Israel until we were passed over, that their heart melted, neither was there spirit in them anymore because of the children of Israel. Okay, that's good, I guess. At that time, the Lord said unto Joshua, make thee sharp knives and circumcise again the children of Israel the second time. And Joshua made him sharp knives and circumcised the children of Israel at the hill of the foreskins. Oof. No thanks. And this is the cause why Joshua did circumcise. All the people that came out of Egypt that were males, even all the men of war, died in the wilderness by the way, after they came out of Egypt. Now all the people that came out were circumcised, but all the people that were born in the wilderness by the way, as they came forth out of Egypt, them they had not circumcised. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the people that were men of war, which came out of Egypt, were consumed, because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord, unto whom the Lord sware that he would not show them the land, which the Lord sware unto their fathers, that he would give us a land that floweth with milk and honey. And their children whom he raised up in their stead, them Joshua circumcised, for they were uncircumcised, because they had not circumcised them by the way. And it came to pass, when they had done circumcising all the people, that they abode in their places in the camp till they were whole, till they were healed, right? Because that would have really put them out. Okay. And the Lord said unto Joshua, this day have I rolled away the reproach of Egypt from off you. Wherefore the name of the place is called Gilgal unto this day. And the children of Israel encamped in Gilgal, and kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month, at even in the plains of Jericho. And they did eat of the old corn of the land on the morrow after the Passover, unleavened cakes and parched corn in the selfsame day. And the manna ceased on the morrow after they had eaten of the old corn of the land. Neither had the children of Israel manna anymore, but they did eat of the fruit of the land of Canaan that year. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him, with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him, and said unto him, art thou for us, or for our adversaries? And he said, nay, but as a captain of the hosts of the Lord am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth, and did worship, and said unto him, what saith my Lord unto his servant? And the captain of the Lord's host said unto Joshua, loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for the place whereon thou standest is holy. And Joshua did so. Okay, so that is wild that they didn't circumcise their kids that were walking with them through the Red Sea when it was parted. I guess the kids that were born did not get circumcised, even though their parents were. So that makes sense that they still needed to do that, because that's what they did back then, to show that they were part of the Lord's people. So it was, circumcision was an outward sign of those who were part of the Abrahamic covenant during the Old Testament times, and all of the males in the Israelite nation were dedicating themselves at the same time. This would have taken a lot of faith because they would have been immobilized for a period of time as they healed. Now in enemy territory, they would be placing their faith in Joshua and in the Lord. Okay, so this is what it explains in the Bible dictionary about circumcision, the token of the Abrahamic covenant during the Old Testament dispensations. Those who received it thenceforth enjoyed the privileges and undertook the responsibilities of the covenant. It symbolized some aspects of separation or dedication, one to God, to whom Israel belonged, two from the world, the uncircumcised with whom Israel might not mix, and three from sin. With circumcision was connected the giving of a name, but there is no express mention of this custom until New Testament times. It would follow naturally from the fact that Abram's name was changed to the institution of the ordinance. End quote. Okay, so we wonder why they didn't circumcise while they were in the wilderness. So one scholarly BYU article explains, commentators have suggested various reasons why Israel did not circumcise while wandering in the wilderness. There seems to be some consensus around the explanation that circumcision was temporarily discontinued as a mark of divine disfavor, precipitated by their disbelief in God's promise that they could oust the inhabitants of the promised land. Other explanations for not circumcising while wandering include non-necessity. There was no need to distinguish between Israel and other nations, and divine favor. Circumcision would have been difficult while traveling. Well, yeah, for sure. Ultimately, the scriptures do not state directly why the practice was discontinued. End quote. Ryan J. Wessel, Circumcision in the Old Testament, Religious Educator, Volume 20, Number 3, 2019. Okay. And then, Captain of the Lord's host. Okay, do you remember that the Lord stopped striving with Israel for a while because they were not being obedient, and the Lord said, okay, now you will be led by an angel. I wonder if this is the one. So once they entered the promised land, were circumcised and held the Passover, the manna ceased. Imagine what a change this would have been for them. They were now no longer in the wilderness, but were in a fruitful land. Therefore, they no longer needed the manna. They could now provide for themselves by normal means. Then Joshua, now ready to conquer Jericho, lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man. And he had a sword, right? Then Joshua, not knowing who the man was, went over to him and asked if he was for them or for the adversaries, right? The man answered that he was the captain of the Lord's host. And then Joshua worshipped the messenger and was then told to remove his shoes, for he was on holy ground. Elder Bruce R. McConkie explained that this man holding the sword was Christ. Oh. Okay, so there's a quote from Elder Bruce R. McConkie. He says, Christ himself is the chief soldier in his own army. As commander, he carries the title Captain of the Lord's host. By this name, he appeared to Joshua, who, seeing him with his sword drawn in his hand and hearing him say, as captain of the host of the Lord, am I now come? Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship, and said unto him, What saith my Lord unto his servant? And the captain of the Lord's host said unto Joshua, Loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for the place whereon thou standest is holy. What further direction was then given has not been preserved for us, which is a little bit sad. It is profitable to compare this appearance of our Lord to Joshua with his appearance to Moses in the burning bush, at which time the ground also was hallowed by the personal presence of deity, and also to compare it with the ministry of the angel whom John attempted to worship, but was restrained with the command, see thou do it not, worship God. Among righteous messengers from the spirit realms, none but deity will accept worship from mortals, and none but the Lord himself hallows a spot so that mortals are commanded to remove their shoes. Oh, end quote. No wonder. That's pretty awesome, actually. Okay, so that's from Elder Bruce R. McConkie, Mormon Doctrine 112. That is fascinating. Okay, so we are going to read. Oh, you know what? We don't have a read it, live it. So we will ask a thought starter question. What do you think Joshua learned at this time? And why do you think the Lord called himself captain of the host of the Lord at this time? So he was like speaking in third person though, right? Finn would say that he has mad aura, which is why he would speak in third person. And I don't have any other explanation for that except that he is the Lord and he can do whatever he wants, right? So anyway, I thought that was really cool. So until Joshua chapter 6, stay strong, warrior.